Hello, my name is Tracy Allen, and I want to welcome you to Cooking with Some Friends. We want to welcome you to another session of Cooking with Some Friends. Today, my friend is actually my oldest granddaughter, Eden, and she came over and we're going to bake some cookies. And we have two cookie recipes we're going to share with you. One of them is a recipe probably my favorite chocolate chip recipe. It's got a little twist to it that we'll share with you that makes them rise up a little more, and they're a little softer, and so we really like those. And the other one is a super simple monster cookie recipe. So if you have a problem with peanut butter, the monster cookie one is not for you. But we're going to show you a really simple way to make really good monster cookies. So we're going to start with the chocolate chip cookies. So Eden, you're up.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So the recipe card's right there on the counter.
Oh.
So we're going to start with Eden has to sift 2 1/4 cups of flour. And we went ahead and got everything mise en place, which just means everything in its place before we start, including the eggs that we're going to need. We got those out. We got all our measuring equipment, our sifter, those kinds of things. We also got all of our ingredients out. We got a bowl out for trash, all of that. Okay, 2 1/4 cups.
This is a cup, right?
That's a half cup, right?
Oh. Yeah.
So you need how many of those?
4.
And then a 4th cup. Yeah. The sifting the dry ingredients of this just helps make the cookie a little bit fluffier, it'll rise up, like I said, a little bit higher, as well as the flavor and the added volume that the secret ingredient's going to give us.
I'm getting flour all over your floor.
You're fine. Your mom makes these cookies all the time now, doesn't she?
I don't know.
Are these
I
the
think
ones
so.
she makes for the ball teams?
Yeah.
That's what I
I
thought.
really like these cookies.
Yeah. We already went ahead and preheated our oven, so it's ready. The recipe says 375, but I found that I like to do this particular cookie at 350 instead. A teaspoon of soda in with that. Baking soda. Yep. I'm just here as Eden's guide, not necessarily to do much of anything. Teaspoon?
Teaspoon.
Lowercase t, right? Yeah, you're right.
Oh, trust this.
Here, stick the spoon down in. There you go.
Got it.
Okay. Now you can sift those two together. So those are the main two dry ingredients, at least the ones that need to be sifted. It's all-purpose flour and baking soda. That's all you need in your sifter. We already got the mixer out. Here in a minute, she's going to mix the wet and the moist ingredients, which would be a cup of butter, a 1/4 cup of sugar, 3/4 cup of brown sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla, the eggs, and our secret ingredient. Yep. So again, the sifting just helps incorporate some air to make it a little fluffier. Now we're going to set that aside, and Eden's going to go ahead and combine the things that need to be creamed together. A cup of butter is equal to 2 sticks of butter. You might want to take the beater bar out of the bowl that you're going to use. When I taught culinary students, it was kind of funny. They just assumed that 1 stick was a cup, and they always underdid it because it takes 2 sticks. Now, if at your house you use margarine, I'm not telling you you can't use margarine, but our body does break down butter better than it does margarine. So we need a 1/4 cup of sugar, of white sugar. There's a 1/4 cup measuring cup in the sugar.
Salted or unsalted?
Butter. Salted or unsalted butter. That's what he's asking.
1/4 cup of sugar.
She just totally ignored me.
I didn't hear what she said. What'd you say?
Salted or unsalted butter.
Oh, it's salted butter. You could use unsalted. I just don't buy unsalted unless a recipe particularly calls for that. And then 3/4 cup of brown sugar. Which would be equal to 1/2 and 1/4. Would be 3/4. And with brown sugar, what do you do to it, huh? With brown sugar, what do you do that's different than with sugar? Do you know? Pack it in
Yeah.
to get any air
That's
out.
what you do.
I did get the cookie sheets out with some parchment on them. I'll get some spoons so when it's time. But you can use the cookie dough scoops if you have those. But I would rather just use 2 spoons. It makes them just as uniform as I need them, and it doesn't stick into the scoop.
Okay.
Okay. A teaspoon of vanilla. I like to buy Watkins vanilla. It's got a little stronger vanilla flavor. It seems to hold up better, so. I'm gonna lock this in so that you can. So we've got all of those moist ingredients in here. So now you can mix it on a medium speed, left hand.
What?
And you're just, pull it towards you. You're just going to mix it until all the ingredients are incorporated. Since there's no flour in this, you can't over mix it technically. If you have the flour in it, if you mix it too long, it would lose some of that air, so your cookies wouldn't rise as well. Okay. As soon as that's incorporated, Eden's going to add 2 eggs. Let me break the eggs once you break them over to make them couple that way. Like if you need shells. Eden's dad, our son, is in the background giving commentary. So if you hear a voice, that's what it is, who it is. Okay. Go ahead and add your 2 eggs.
Sorry.
Yeah, good.
I'm just gonna break it in there and then put it in there.
Go ahead and turn your mixer on again. I'll get the eggs out of your way. Now, as soon as those eggs are incorporated in, Eden's going to add 1 package of instant vanilla pudding. And that's that secret ingredient. It gives it a little more flavor as well as making the cookies rise up a little bit more. Are the eggs incorporated?
Not yet.
Turn that one. You can probably go ahead and add it.
Oh, it's on?
Mhm.
Okay.
Keep your hands away from the meter ball. All that's left to do to make your dough, your cookie dough, is to add your flour mixture in a little at a time, probably about a third at a time, and then we're going to add our chocolate chips. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, flour. And I would turn it off while you do this. Add about a third of it. You don't have to measure it because everything's measured already. Just if you add it all at once, it's just harder to incorporate it, so it doesn't hurt anything. But you can go ahead and add a little more each time, so you don't have to overmix. Go ahead. Just keep adding it a little at a time. So when your mom makes cookies for the teens, do you help her?
Not usually. I like to enjoy the cookies that she works hard to
Yeah,
make.
so you eat the cookies, you just don't necessarily help make them, huh?
Yep.
Okay, you can last of it in there and just pick the bowl up and just dump it. So everybody seems to have their favorite cookie. Like I said, this is my favorite chocolate chip cookie recipe just because it has that extra flavor to it. This is all on this thing. At this point, again, you don't want to overmix it, so go ahead and turn it off for a sec. Measure your 2 cups of chocolate chips. You can just dump them in your... it calls for a package of chocolate chips, and really most average size packages of chocolate chips, it's 2 cups. So if I buy mine in bulk, so that's why we usually measure them, or we know how much chocolate we like in them. Okay. And then you can turn the mixer on just long enough to incorporate those.
Okay.
I know it's going to sound like somebody's beating somebody up. It gets kind of wild with the mixer. Okay. Okay. Can you drop it down? Left or right? Your right. And take the beater bar off. You have to turn it. Lift and turn. You want me? There you go.
I got it.
Now pull the bowl up. Come on, muscle. There you go. And when you're done, your dough should be a pretty stiff dough. Now, while Eden is working on the next recipe, I am going to go ahead and form these, and then we'll show you and put them in the oven, and that way we can get those done. So the ingredients for the second set of cookies, we're going to need 3 eggs. So I'm going to put the eggs back over here. We're going to need, this is what makes it super simple. We're going to need a pouch of chocolate chip cookie mix. Now we buy Betty Crocker, but you can buy a generic brand. You're going to need a pouch of peanut butter cookie mix. You're going to need 1.5 cups of oatmeal. You're going to need a cup of butter that's been softened to room temperature, not melted. And then you're going to need 2 cups of M&Ms, and that's it. So Eden's got a bowl over here. Did I get you one?
I don't think so.
I thought I did. Sorry, Eden.
It's okay.
Got a bowl. Yep. Okay. So now all she has to do is start dumping her ingredients together. I would go ahead and do your butter and your eggs first.
Okay.
And you've got a rubber spatula to stir them with. This one doesn't even take a mixer, so it's pretty easy to do. The cookies, I'm going to make them about walnut size, the chocolate chip cookies. So she's doing her butter and her eggs first. And these cookies, when they bake, will about double in size, so they're not too close together.
What do I know next?
What do you do next?
Start?
Yep.
Okay.
The yield for this recipe, the chocolate chip cookie dough, it says that the yield is about 2 dozen. I have a tendency to get more than 2 dozen out of it, though. Again, it just depends on how big you make them. With all that butter in it, though, you don't want to make them too big because they'll burn before they actually bake all the way through. And as we bake them, we're going to bake them till they're just starting to brown a little bit on the edges, but we still want them to be soft. So just don't overcook them. So these are going to go in a 350 oven. And my roasting oven for about 8 to 10 minutes. Okay. It's okay, it'll incorporate. Okay, you can dump your 2 different kinds of cookie mix in.
Okay.
Doesn't matter which order.
Chocolate chip. First.
So this makes it really handy if you want a quick cookie that you don't want to spend a lot of time in the kitchen, but they taste homemade, so they're a really good cookie. My niece gave me this recipe a long time ago, and it's been kind of a go-to one when we want something other than chocolate chip cookies, assuming some of my grandkids aren't around that have peanut allergies. Okay. And then you're going to need 1.5 cups of oatmeal. You want me to stir while you're measuring?
Sure.
As we're mixing, this is going to look kind of dry, but it moistens up pretty fast. Is there a reason you're using such a small cup?
Couldn't find the other one.
Oh, it's okay. You don't need to use them if you don't want to, but it's giving me time to mix this in. Okay. And as soon as, and you did 3 eggs, right? Yeah, that would be really disgusting, would it not?
3 onions. Not good in cookies.
I know. Okay, our dough is starting to look more like it's supposed to now. Again, we're talking about another stiff cookie dough. And as soon as we get this all ready, Eden's going to dump in 2 cups of M&Ms. This is helping me also get rid of my Valentine's M&Ms that I bought. I did cheat on my Valentine ones I bought. I got ready to do my Easter container, so I just picked the red ones out. Anytime you want to. Oh, you're fine. There's 1 cup. So this will have both the chocolate chip and the M&Ms in it, as well as have some peanut butter flavor to it, and the oatmeal cookie as well.
There you go.
Thank you. And that's all there is to this cookie dough. Again, this one goes in at 375. And they take about 8 to 10 minutes to get done. It may take a little bit longer with the oatmeal in it. Make sure when you get your oatmeal, you get quick cooking oats. Don't get old-fashioned oats, because they definitely don't work up the same. Okay, so you can take our 2 spoons. And go ahead and do about 9 cookies on there.
Feel good?
Yep. Okay. Doing good. I'm going to scoot it off there with the differences. Okay. As soon as Eden gets those on the tray, we're going to go ahead and put those in the oven, and we will show you a picture of those completed. Thanks for joining us for this session of Cooking with Some Friends. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And find us on Facebook at Cooking with Some Friends.